My next guest is a lightweight contender from Harvey, Illinois. He trains out of one of my favorite gyms in the Midwest called Gilbert Grappling. That should be a gym that's familiar to my audience. So let's get right down to it. I'm talking to Scuba Steve Collins. Scuba Steve, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. And here we are. We have a big opportunity, CFFC 121, that happens on July 14th in Tunica. Wow, like what an opportunity. Your teammate is headlining it. He's defending his featherweight title. Like, can you talk to me, Steve, a little bit? Like, when did you get approached by CFFC? Like, when did this opportunity present itself to you?
It presented itself like while I was training. Well, they've been trying to find me a fight on Bo last fight. They were trying to find me a fight for that card, but they couldn't find one. So I just waited until you know July, and then my coach told me like I think it was like 8 weeks out. He was like, "They looking for you, somebody," and then that's when like 6 weeks out, 6 weeks out, I found out like exactly who he was. And we already knew Jose was gonna fight on that card, so we was already like preparing a little bit. But yeah, it feels good to fight with Jose. He's me and him always in the gym sparring, so it's gonna be great. Me fighting and winning, then him fighting and winning, and having a good night.
Steve, can you talk to me a little bit about how you got to G2? Bo had a really interesting story, kind of how he fell into it. How did you get hooked up with the gym?
So first, Bo he used to coach at Thornton Township. That's the school I graduated from, and that's why I started wrestling at. And he was a Harvey Twister. The head coach was a Harvey Twister. So it's like, it was Harvey world all over there. So I I came from the city
Mhm.
actually, but then I started going to Thornton, and then that's when he started coaching me and teaching me moves. Like I'm like my head coach not teaching me this, and it's like stuff that I do, and my coach look at it like, who taught you that? Bo. And I'm like, yeah, Bo taught me that. So so then as I got older, my senior year, I didn't go downstate because I popped my elbow out of place, and then Bo came back and he asked me like, you want to do MMA? And then like from that day forward, I just been he picked me up after wrestling practice or after school, and we'd go to the MMA gym. I go home and we just kept doing that. And then like that's how I got started, was getting my ass beat. And then I got better and I started throwing punches back.
I love your gym for a lot of different reasons, but I think the biggest reason why I like it is because there aren't any like big rock stars that train out of there. Like, well, I think of, Bo and Jose, I think they're rock stars, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there is no like
Mm-hmm.
UFC guy there yet. It's all a bunch of blue collar kids that are out there. They're working, they're grinding. And I feel like that persona from the gym, just kind of where you guys are from and like what you guys are about, like that shows up in the cage come fight night. Like you see
Mm-hmm.
that sort of mentality. Like you guys are the blue corner guys, right? And like the guys that, are from this like little gym in Chicago that no one really thinks too much of. But you guys show up and show out like from where you're from and where you train, like for everyone that fights and represents G2, does that like put like do you guys have like a certain like chip on your shoulder? Because it seems like all you guys are really similar. You guys like I don't know what it is, but it just seems like you guys all have that like underdog, like blue corner. I'm gonna like ruin your plans. I'm gonna fuck up the A side. Like you guys just all seem to have like that sort of vibe about you.
Yeah, we just I do feel like we all come with a chip on our shoulder, and I just feel like it's the way everybody was like brought up. Everybody have rough beginnings. We wrestled in high school, or did jujitsu since we was younger, and we all working like we all getting off work, going to practice. Or me, I work like 2 3 hours in the morning, then I have a little 2 hour break. I go to talents, go back to work, go home, probably take a nap, maybe not. I got a son, so I go to practice, in practice, get home at like 8, probably do a night run if I'm in camp. But it was like we all hard working dudes. We all going there. Like we not in there just to learn how to do this and kickboxing and wrestle. Now we really in there to learn how to get dangerous and be at the top. Like we all train to be at the top. That's why I'm so competitive all the time.
What was it like for you Watching Jose get the featherweight title for CFFC not that long ago, like what did it mean for like you guys and like Bo, like just considering everything that's been going on with you guys over the past couple of years, like what did that mean to you guys when he came back home with that strap?
And it meant a lot, man. It meant like, we could be at the high level. We could fight at the high level. Because if I'm in a gym training with Jose, he the 155 champion. I could be a 155 champion. You feel me? So it's like, and then the passing of Isaac, and it's messed up. Me and Isaac, we wrestled in high school together. Like been going to practice with each other for a long time until that happened. But we all fight with him like with us. Like we like I don't know, at least me, like I'll fight with him with me, like because in practice he used to always say, Stevie, don't let him take you down. Like you don't supposed to let him take you down. Or Stevie, you gotta throw your hands, like, so that like that's what I think in my head. And Bo, we all sharpen off each other, so we all alike. So Bo, he be saying and I be thinking to myself. So that title win, it meant a lot, man. It showed who was good.
You are 6 amateur fights into your mixed martial arts career so far. And can you tell me a little bit, like from your very first fight compared to where you are today, like on the time frame, on the timeline, you're talking 18 months, 20 months or so. That's not a long time. But I look at like where you're at from the beginning, like 2021, tail end of 2021, when you first started, compared to what I just saw, and I see a different dude. I see a guy that's put in the time. I can see that on your tape. Can you tell me though a little bit, not so much where you are from a physical standpoint. If you watch fighting, you can see that for yourself. But I want to know
Mm.
like the difference in your mentality. What was it like when you made your very first fight compared to when you just made the walk here a few months back? Like as a fighter, how has your mentality evolved?
I think over time, my mentality, like, it always been the same. Like, I'm gonna learn as I go. I gotta do what I'm good at. Listen to my corner because I got killers in my corner all the time. So I listen to my corner, but over time, I would say I fight a lot smarter, and I fight like I don't fight so much because I used to just fight like you see my first fight, like I was just going all out. You feel me? Then I calmed down the second round. So now it's like I'm more calm, but I'm explosive. And I'm understanding what I'm good at and what area, like how to work my combo, especially when I'm tired. So I say I'm just a little bit more smarter and I'm treating it like, more like a skill, not like something I'm trying, you know?
One of the things that I'm always looking to see for particularly amateur fighters is decision making. Like I want to see that intelligence because I almost would go as far as to say like the stakes are almost you could say are higher for the amateur fights. Here's what I mean by that. Like if you get taken down, you got 3 minutes, and a guy can just hold you down and clock you, and that's it. Like he can just lay and pray on you, and it's a limited skill set. So the refs aren't going to probably be as eager to stand you guys up. You know what I mean? So you can kind of take your time. You can do things in the amateur circuit that you can't do as a pro. I feel the refs give you a little bit more leeway to that extent. But I'm saying all that, Steve, because like you get taken down, you make one mistake, you could spend the rest of the round on the ground. And I just kind of wanted to get your opinion, like when you like are these are the things that I'm sure that you have to think about, and has that influenced your game at all, like knowing those sort of things?
Yeah, man, for sure. Like so on my first fight, with my second fight, and I lost my third fight, and it was 27-29, bro. It still pisses me off to this day because I got taken down, and it's like because I went off the first round, came out crazy, and then I got taken down, stayed in guard. I know jujitsu, but I'm not like, I'm not the best at it, but I can use it to get to a good position. So it was like I sat there, I was like, damn, my first move didn't work, and I just sat there. And it's 3 minutes. I'm like, damn, I gotta get up. It's 1 minute left. So I got up. Next round, he took me down again, but I was tapping him on the feet, but I lost because I was getting took it down. He was getting that control time. And then my fight, my worst battle, like not the worst battle, but my biggest battle, I guess it was a great fight tonight with me and Trey Lawson. That was a tough fight. Like he surprisingly took me down once, and it took a big chunk of the time, and he won that round, and I lost that fight. So I'm learning. Like I'm learning the hard way. I learned the hard way.
So for any like young guy that, is graduating high school and, they see some dude like you with 6 fights in thinking to themselves like, man, I'm trying to get into this MMA thing. Like, what would you tell anybody who's even thinking about doing what it is that you do? Like six fights into this, like, that's a lot of fights, man. And for anyone who's looking to get into MMA, like what would you tell them before they even like lace up a pair of gloves for the first time and actually think about competing?
So what age you said? You said graduating high school?
Yeah, let's just say we're talking about some 18-year-old kid who just got out of high school and was like, man, I'm thinking about getting into this. Like, what would you tell somebody like that?
I'll tell them just hop in. I'll tell them come to G2. We'll show you. You're gonna get hit a little bit, but we'll definitely show you. I'll ask them like what's their athletic background. That's the certified training, but I'll just tell them come to the gym because it's like you don't know if they serious until
I
they
mean,
come.
it sounds like simple advice, but it's also the same time like you're gonna find out really quick in the gym if this sport's for you or not. Like most people think they're about it. And I can imagine like you walk through that gym on day one, and in 10 minutes, you're gonna find out if this is really for you or not. Because then it's like, okay, Steve, get in there with him and here, put on these gloves. And even if you're going, at like a fourth of the speed you normally would, like, and I've gotten hit with boxing gloves before, just screwing around with my friends. And what 16-ounce gloves? That's a ton. And like you get popped in the belly with one of those, and it's just like, okay, I don't think I need to do this shit anymore.
Sure, yeah, the body shot hurt.
Can you talk to me? I would be remiss. One of the reasons why I wanted you on this show, I watched the Anthony Pettis fight, and you put on a show, man. Like that was an entertaining scrap for me. I liked it. There are a few things that I saw that I really liked, but like the things that mostly stood out to me, I thought you level changed really well. You were able to get critical takedowns. The fight should have ended in the first round. It should have ended. He was shelling up, and I know you were irritated by that. And then in the second round, he didn't really. You got another takedown on this guy, and he didn't really want to be in there anymore. And finally, mercifully, the fight ends. But tell me, like, when you go back and you see this fight, apart from the level changes, apart from the takedowns, was there anything else that you remember from your performance that you liked?
I like the way because it was when I hit him with this because I be working on my switch kick. I go 1-2 switch kick, and I always do it in practice. Like I throw it even if they block it. And when I felt his head bounce off my knee, and I hit him with an uppercut cross, and then another hook. I was like, oh yeah, I fucking got him. And then I changed levels, took him down. I like the sequence and how like I didn't let him rushing me, like, affect me. As soon as he rushed and got hooked, went down, boom, took him down. I was trying to like, because I knew he didn't want to be in. I was punching him. He didn't. I felt his energy. He didn't want to be in that ring. So in between rounds, he like try to like if you watched it, he trying to like stud me or kick me or something. And I grabbed my nuts like, bitch, I'm about to come back and beat your ass,
that's what that was about. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to come back and beat your ass. So I came back and beat him. And then when they posted the video, bro, he was asking for a rematch. And it's not like it was a close fight, but it's like, bro, I want a rematch, bro. You want to get beat up again?
I mean, no disrespect to him, but hurt pride, that's what it is. I understand it. I do. But for you, what sense does that make? It makes no sense. It doesn't.
Yeah, it don't. It doesn't.
Here we are, CFFC 121. That happens on July 14th. I'd like to get your opinion, Steve. Like, tell me a little bit about this guy they want you to fight, Cameron Scalio. I hope I said his name right. If I didn't,
I think it's Scalio.
Yeah, well, Cameron Scalio, if that's how you say it, I just don't know. So I'm not trying to diss this kid. I literally don't know. But tell me What do you see about this guy? He's got a good record, just like you. He's finished fights before. I'm sure you've gone on Fight Pass. I'm sure you've gone on YouTube to kind of see what's out there on him. What's your general opinion of this guy?
My general opinion, I think it's gonna be he's gonna be a tough opponent because he do professional grappling
Mm-hmm.
and and grappling. I'm pretty decent, on the feet. It's gonna be hard to take me down. I can take you down, but I'm gonna have to be careful going to the ground with him. I feel like I'm gonna take a more of an approach like I took when I won my Ignite title. I'm gonna take a more of a on the feet approach, stopping the shots, but I'm gonna be more aggressive towards it. But I think he's a good opponent for me. It's gonna be a nice test before I go pro, and I'm gonna come out with the W, nonetheless.
And you hit on a couple things I was going to ask you about because I went on his Tapology. I did see that he has been in like Fury Pro Grappling before. He comes from that background, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself like, okay, well, the obvious move then would be like we have an idea of what he wants to do. He wants to make this an ugly fight, probably a real grapple heavy fight. Take this fight down to the ground, and he's probably thinking to himself like, I'm gonna smoke this guy on the ground. That's how I win this fight. And for you, like, without telling me about your game plan, because I just don't tell me, I want to watch it here in a few weeks, but tell me like, why is that not going to work? Like, why is he not going to be able to just go in there and grapple fuck you for 9 minutes? Why is that not going to work?
He can't do that because first he got to take me down. I'm very hard to take down.
Okay.
Second of all, I have one of the best jiu-jitsu guys, I think, on the planet. Jose Perez. I spar with him every week. So I feel like the things we do gonna get me ready for anything he try. Even if because I train worst case scenario all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my coach asked me like, Steve, why was you on your back today? And I was like, I'm just trying to train for worst case scenario. And then he'll give his coaching advice like, nah, man, you don't stop this and that. But I always train with worst case scenario, so I'm ready for anything, honestly.
Where do you feel you have the biggest advantage over your opponent?
Stand up, take down defense.
All right. So that's it. So we're gonna.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Less is more in these things because it's like, okay, well, less is more.
I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, we don't want to say too much because I'm a fight fan at the end of the day, and this is an interesting fight to me, and I want to watch it just like anyone else. But you beat a guy like this. Is there anyone else on the amateur scene that you want to fight before you call it an amateur career? A win over this guy that would put you at 5-2, and that's a lot of amateur fights.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go pro. I'm gonna really prepare for this fight. Train harder than I did all my other camps. Stay focused and just lock in on the prize. Win, go pro.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this, then you will know that in order to watch my guy fight here on July 14th, it'll be streaming on OnlyFans. So that's not awkward for anybody. Everyone knows what OnlyFans is, right?
Oh, no. Well, I'm not sure.
So awkward. And I kind of feel
every time I tell somebody, they always like, OnlyFans. I'm like, yeah, I know you know what it is.
Yeah, man, that's definitely awkward, and I had to bring that up to just because I think that's funny. I'm just like, how did we get to streaming fights on OnlyFans? But hey,
I don't understand.
You don't make those decisions. You go out.
Yeah,
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, it is what it is.
So make sure everybody you stream this on OnlyFans. Make sure you get on your OnlyFans accounts. Half of you guys already got subscriptions anyway. So.
Yeah, more than half, probably like 80%.
You guys got subs anyway, so you guys should already know. But for those that don't, make sure you go on CFFC's website for more information on how to watch the fight. Steve, I want to give you the final opportunity. If there's anything that anything that you wanted to talk about, or anybody that you would like to thank before I let you go, let's do.
I would love to thank my whole G2 family, everybody that come and train me daily. I want to thank my family. I just want to thank everybody that support me, help me through this journey, come and sit in the sauna with me. Everybody that's just a part of it. And I just want to say, I'm ready to set my mark on a CFFC stage.
Well, I'm looking forward, sir, to watching you compete in a few weeks, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to me. So I thank you, Scuba Steve, and I look forward to having you back on real soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It was a pleasure.